I believe it was yesterday I talked about how corrupt some of these Republicans are with ties to Rove and Romney, among others, in pushing this Obama phone. Pushing the Obama phone. Wanting to expand it. Because they're lobbyists for the telecommunication companies. This is crony capitalism. You pay for this. I want to give you a few more cases. This is how contemptible our centralized government and these political hacks have become. Timothy Carney, the Washington Examiner, Dick Durbin and his lobbyist wife working together. Little Dick Durbin from the great state of Illinois. Senators have a tendency to be married to lobbyists, he writes. Tom Daschle's wife, Linda Hall Daschle, is a major transportation lobbyist. Ken Conrad's wife, these are former senators, Lucy Colludi, is a lobbyist for Major League Baseball. Byron Dorgan's wife, Kimberly Dorgan, is the top lobbyist for the life insurance industry. Did you know that? 3 former senators, all these top lobbyists, their spouses. On the GOP side, Liddy Dole was a Republican senator, while her husband, Bob Dole, was a lobbyist. I didn't even know Bob Dole was a lobbyist. Abby Blunt, wife of current Missouri Senator Roy Blunt, is Kraft Foods' top lobbyist. Democrats, while pushing lobbying reforms in 2007, opposed a conservative measure that would have restricted spousal lobbying. Dorgan, Conrad, and Daschle have left the upper chamber and joined their wives on K Street, of course, but still working for the people of Illinois is Dick Durbin, whose wife, Loretta, is a state lobbyist in Springfield, Illinois. Now, often these Democratic senators blatantly pursued policies that directly benefited their wives' clients. Tom Daschle was a champion of the Export-Import Bank, while his wife was lobbying for its top beneficiary, Boeing. You know, in my view, people should go to prison for this crap. I've had enough of it. This is why senators should not be directly elected. They should be chosen by state legislatures. Because we don't know what they're doing, we the people. We don't have access day in and day out to what they're doing. But the state legislatures would know, and they would know if they're helping the state and the people in the state or not. So while Kimberly Dorgan's industry fought fiercely to save the death tax, which forces people to buy more life insurance products, Byron Dorgan championed the tax. And Dick and Loretta Durbin, the Dickster, and his wife Loretta, the number 2 Democrat in the Senate, little Dick Durbin, while the Chicago Tribune reported this story on Monday. Among the areas of overlap in the Durbin's career, her firm getting a 1-year contract with a housing nonprofit group around the time the senator went to bat for the organization and others like it. A state university receiving funds earmarked by Durbin when his wife was its lobbyist, and Durbin arranging federal money for a public health nonprofit when his wife was seeking state support from that very same group. It's so thoroughly corrupt. It's just beyond belief. Both parties. This is why the Convention of the States, ladies and gentlemen, it's the only alternative. Then there's another story in the Carolina Journal. This Kay Hagan is running for the Senate, liberal Democrat in North Carolina, against Rove's guy. Senator Kay Hagan's husband and son created a solar energy contracting company in August 2010, and then using $250,000 in federal stimulus grant funds, her husband hired the same company to install solar panels at a building he owns. So he creates this solar energy company in 2010 just in time to get $250,000 in federal stimulus grants, and his own company turns around with the stimulus grants and puts solar power panels in the building he owns. Public records show that Green State Power was formed 7 weeks before JDC Manufacturing, a company owned in part by Greensboro attorney Charles Chip Hagan III, Senator Hagan's husband, received the stimulus grant for the solar project at a 300,000 square foot facility in North Carolina. A story in late September on the Washington, D.C. based website Politico revealed that JDC Manufacturing received nearly $390,000 in federal grants for energy projects and tax credits created by the 2009 stimulus law. See how our hard-earned tax dollars are used to line the pockets of these bastards. The story reported that JDC was one of 27 in North Carolina to be awarded funds for energy-efficient projects to the tune of about $250,000. The company received the money in 2011 after the first phase of the project was completed in 2010. Kay Hagan, a Democrat, was elected in 2008, assumed office in 2009, seeking re-election now against House Speaker Tom Tillis. Now, Green State Power's website claims the company was founded in 2008 before Hagan became a senator. But records from the Corporations Division of North Carolina Department of Secretary of State show the company was in fact formed on August 20, 2010, under the name Solardyne. So the company was formed under different names. They move it around in order to conceal the money that's also moving around. The stimulus grant was awarded September 29, 2010, 7 weeks after Chip Hagan filed papers creating the company. In May 2010, Chip Hagan filed papers changing the name of Solardyne to Green State Power. So I guess it would be harder for us to follow. And of course, little Chip, the Hagan son, Charles T. Hagan IV, is one of the managers of the company. He goes by the name of Tilden Hagan. And this woman leads in the polls in North Carolina. You know, Rome lasted much longer than much longer than we are right now. There's Durbin, a corrupt you-know-what. There's Hagan, another corrupt you-know-what. They trash capitalism, but they love crony capitalism. They trash wealth, but they all get wealthy. And they don't get wealthy honestly. They get wealthy off of your hard work.